Easily, the most common and versatile report widget we have is the content widget. I'm going to click on that content widget, and it looks very vanilla as you bring it up, but I'll show you some examples of what you can do with this. You notice subtly underneath the text box, which is a rich text editor, you can put a lot of information in here, is show hide available tokens. And this can be a little overwhelming at first, but just read through a couple of them and you'll see, oh, I know why that's necessary. Token for assessment name, for the candidate's first name, last name, middle name, login ID, etc. The date they started the test in different formats. The left-hand column shows the token we use, and the right-hand column shows the token description. So I'll just kind of get started with a couple of tokens for this report. I'll say first name, colon, last name, colon, and then I can paste these tokens in. So every time a candidate takes a test and I push this token in, it will pull from the database who that candidate was, what their first and last name is, and that'll show up on the report. Some other common ones might be date completed, and then you can see here we have quite a few date completed formats. Completed in year, 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 month, month, day, day, etc., etc. So I'll do month, month, day, day, year, year. I'll copy this token up here to the top. I can, as I said, it is a rich text format. So let's say I wanted to bold this. I could bold first, last name, and date completed, or at least, and then the information from the candidate's testing session would show non-bolded in this case. I'm going to bold each of these. I'm going to go in and change the font. I'm going to change it to what looks good to the eye. Let's use Century Gothic. We'll use a size of 18, and we'll just set it up that way. Now you can see that when that widget was created, it put it in the next spot on the current row that I've set up. If I want my logo to be the only thing on the top row, I click on New Row here or New Row here. I'll go ahead and click on New Row, and then you have the ability to drag. So up in the top left-hand corner of the widget, there is an option to pull it and drag it down. So I have now moved that underneath my image logo. So I'll show what this looks like through the eyeball. So by clicking on the eyeball, I can preview it. These are scores that I've created prior. They're going to be different for each test, so don't pay a ton of attention to those. And then it sets up, here's my client image, here is my information on the testing candidate. Let's say I didn't like the way that looked and I wanted to drag this back up where I had it. You can see that red annotation that says drop it here, and I'm going to delete that second row. Let's click on the eyeball again. Going to generate some more random values, and then we'll see how the report will change. It shows now first, last name with image logo right and left. So let's say I don't like that order. I want to drag this back here, so that's on the left hand side. I just click on my eyeball again, and it just becomes an iterative process. But the great thing about it is you can see it consistently updating. A couple other features that you might notice on the content option, and I'll go ahead and create another content box to do this. So clicking on content is the ability to create tables. So I can set up a table in here that's 3 rows by 2 columns, and let's say I want to create a chart, values and names, and I can put information in each of these. I can even add tokens for scores. Let's say I want to say what was the percentage correct. There's a token right here that we set up for percentage correct. So I could say percentage correct and then paste the token over here. And then we've set up the value, and let's call this the name. I've got them backwards, and we'll call this the value. So we've only got a 1x1 or a 2x1 feature in there, but you can see those have been set up so that we can click on the eyeball and check out now what we've done with an additional content option. So we have name, value. Let's say that you look at this and you say, that's fine, we're getting some good data, but I want a little more formatting on it. That's when you click on the right hand side. So I click on this, and I can start to change the appearance. I can change the width of this, not to be 50-50. I could put some padding around it. I could put a border color on it. This might be helpful. So we say I want the color, let's say I know what the color is and it's black. I set up a black color scheme. I make it a 1-point border, and I want to put a box all the way around this. So let's pretend like this is pretty. We can put a box all the way around this one particular widget. So then when we look at the eyeball again, we'll just see how it's now been encapsulated in a box. So we'll expand on this report when we look at other widgets, but this is the baseline. The content widget can be a great tool for you to enter scores, to put text content in instructions, informational text, candidate name, information. It's a great widget to help you build out your custom report.